Hello and welcome to the Tyrant In Training podcast. I'm the host, Kevin Ryan. This podcast has a guest on every week who gets to be the tyrannical ruler of their own island. They can decide whatever they want. I am just their sycophantic interviewer. Today's guest is the Belfast comedian Mary Flanigan. Normally, I would put in an out-of-context quote to show the tyrannical ramblings of my guest, but I found Mary to be very inspirational. So instead, here is an out-of-context inspirational quote.
If you believe in yourself, and you trust in yourself, and you listen to the voice inside you, you can do most things. You can do almost anything. But you can't throw a hamster in a lake and expect it to flourish.
You can listen to other episodes of this podcast. If you look wherever you're listening to this one, is a good start. You can go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, Podcast Addict, YouTube they're up on. And anywhere else. You can follow me and the podcast, I guess, on Instagram and Twitter at KevRyanPerson. And there you go. So good luck.
Because I love to make friends with guys called Kevin. I hate to make friends with guys called Ryan.
Kevin
go fuck themselves.
Is apparently a stupid person's name.
What? Who told you that, Pet?
Thank you.
Who bullied you?
I was in a workplace, and it was I left it though. At your
This is bullying in the workplace.
Bullying in the workplace. But what happened was, I'm really going to delve into this. I came back. I was on the French team. Now, just to explain, I can't speak any other languages. I don't know why that's important, but I just figured I'd say. Oh no, I was on the German team. Sorry.
Right. Listeners, by the way, for context, I'm steepling my fingers and leaning back in my seat to more deeply take in this work-related trauma.
This is now a therapy session.
I mean, no, I have to say, Kevin, I wouldn't say Kevin's a stupid person's name. I would say that joining the French team when you can't speak any other languages apart from English is not necessarily the work of a smart person.
Hold on a minute. No, I am going to push back on that. I was hired, and I was actually hired on the German team. I can't speak German either, but what happened was I went in and I said, I can't speak any other language except English, by the way. And they went, no problem. You won't be on the phones or anything. What we want you to do is go on the computer and process stuff. It'll be in German. We'll point out the words you need to know, but it's easy, right? Data entry or whatever. So I went grand. And when I was in training, at one point I asked one of the trainers, hey, this word, I don't know, is this a person's name? And they went, oh, that's Berlin. And I was like, oh, all right. And I went off. And then he went, oh, okay. My fellow trainer, Tracy, can you come outside the door with me? And they hurried out. And I thought, he seems to have been very alarmed there and ran out of the room. And I said to my fiance in the evening, I told her that story. And my fiance went, you did tell them in the interview that you don't speak German, right? Because this is going to be awkward. And I was like, yeah, I did. I think I did. Yeah, I did. And the next morning I went in and I said to Tracy, who was there, Tracy, did the other guy, Andrew, did he take you outside for any reason? And she went, oh yeah, he went outside the door at me and was really alarmed. And he was like, Kevin doesn't speak German. Kevin doesn't speak German. And she said, no, don't worry. He won't be on the phones. It's fine. Don't. So I think everyone panicked, that I couldn't speak it.
Okay. But, I mean, Berlin in German seems to be just Berlin.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't the best start. Yeah, it wasn't the best start.
Not the best.
I will say I got on fine there. I actually I was doing German orders, French orders, Spanish orders, Nordic orders. The only country in Europe I didn't get to was Italy at one point. But but what happened was I was on lunch and I came back to the German team and they said something about names or something. And they mentioned Kevin and they said, well, actually, do you know in Germany, Kevin is kind of referred to as kind of stupid people would be called Kevin. It's a name that you wouldn't really want. And I was like, oh, okay, well, screw ye. And I was actually leaving to go onto the French team. And I was like, no, I'll just go to France. And someone was like, I don't know about France. And I was like, why? And they were like, I don't know. And I Googled French Kevin or whatever. And it comes up saying Kevin in France is usually referred to as the stupid kid in school. So, yeah.
I mean, like, you're such a Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, like, what would you call that? Like, not Northern. Western Europe? Western Europe fucking hate
Western Europe thinks Kevins are just
idiots.
Just thick as two short planks.
Yeah.
I'm not Kevin.
Wait, why is it thick as two short planks?
I don't know. It is a phrase that I have said more times than I've actually had to handle short planks.
Yeah.
So I'm just clinging on to it as a simile. But then also, I've never caught two birds in the hand with one in the bush. I've never. There's a lot of phrases that I don't know that neither of us, I think, maybe are completely sure of the meaning of, and yet we keep using them because of the shared socially agreed meaning of that particular set of sounds. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Your cat is moving around in the background.
I have 3 more, so they're somewhere.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I have 4 in the house. They'll be places.
They'll get around. Anyway, yeah. So we are lost in a semiotic kind of confusion of words changing and meanings. And Kevin, of course, can mean so many things. But now we know that in France, Germany, probably Italy,
Netherlands. I believe Netherlands also hate me. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh no, Belgium. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm not sure about Netherlands, but Belgium, I'm not allowed in. Hey.
Well, at least if the orders went wrong, they could be like, listen, don't worry about it. We've got an absolute Kevin doing the orders.
That's not a good sign. I'm standing there on the other side of the counter going, I'm Kevin. But bring him out.
And they're like, we know. We're just saying we have a Kevin doing the orders. And then the guy on the other phone will go, je comprends. C'est tout le Kevin. Bon. Donc,
I have no idea what you just said, and I'm highly insulted for it.
I made vague French noises.
Really? That was very good. Fully believe it. Because I'm stupid.
Well, so, je comprends is just, I understand. And then tu le is just all of. And then if you go donc kind of means like therefore, but people in France use it like breathing. They use it like we would use like.
Okay.
And it like just populates everywhere. And if you can get by in France with basically 3 noises. You donc,
bouf,
and and then you go donc and people go je comprends, c'est Kevin, tu n'es pas un Kevin, un tout le Kevin, tu es grand Kevin.
Grand Kevin. All I heard there was
Big
Kevin. They call me Big Kevin.
Big Kevin.
Back in Ireland.
Big Kev.
Do you think? Do you know how we were saying about sayings and they don't mean anything? People just run with them. Do you think if you were going to rule your own island, right?
Yes.
This might be a chance for you to come up with a saying that means nothing, but John, they'd be like, "Oh, it's just like blah 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 blah."
Okay, so one time I was at a friend's birthday party and I did not really know. I knew one person in the conversation very well. I did not know the other person very well. And me and my friend, a guy called Gavin, actually, we've been friends for ages. We tend to get a little hyper and silly when we're together, right? And it was both of us sort of trying to remember how to be normal around this new person. And I was kind of, I don't know how relatable this is, but when you're consciously trying not to be weird and somehow you end up being more weird, like
yes.
And we were all talking, and I could feel that she was also trying not to be weird. It was early in the evening. No one was kind of like loosey-goosey. Everyone was still being a little bit like, oh, hello, and what do you do? Oh, marvellous. And
adult.
And we were talking about something. And I said, well, you can't throw a hamster in a lake and expect it to flourish. And I don't know why. And I also know that both Gavin and this other person in the competition, we all kept talking for about maybe 20 seconds. And I said, I'm sorry. I just need to clarify. Right. When I said right there, you can't throw a hamster in a lake and expect it to flourish. Did you both hear me? And they were like, yeah, we thought it was weird. And I was like, okay. Because I don't know why I said it. I mean, I know what I meant. You can't throw a hamster in a lake
it makes,
and expect it to flourish.
Yeah.
You know, there's very few places you can throw a hamster and expect it to flourish, but a lake is, one of the top ones. If you really don't want your hamster to flourish, you got to go for a lake.
I mean,
And
flourish in what way? Like in career or love or?
I think just like as a person, and for some hamsters that might mean career, for some it might mean love, for some it might just mean like self-love, for some it might just mean, creativity, like their family. I think that looks as different for every hamster as it does for every human. Maybe swimming. Maybe there is a hamster who would flourish if thrown in a lake. Maybe they've always wanted to swim and they never actually, their arms are so small. But yeah, so if I was running my island, that would be something mothers would tell their children when their children be like, "Oh, mommy, my string, this thing happened at school." Well, you can't throw a hamster in a lake and expect it to flourish, can you? So,
and the kid is like, "Oh, good point." Yeah, immediately grows up.
Yeah, the kid is confused and starts like, and there'd probably be, there would be like funny T-shirts where you could show a hamster in like a swimming suit how to get into a lake, and people being like, "No," there would be it would be one of the phrases people kind of make puns on.
Yes.
I'm unsure how, but they would flourish. Those puns would flourish a lot, unlike a hamster being thrown into a lake.
I quickly Googled this while I was listening to the wonderful explanation.
Listening very intently.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying the only issue is that hamsters can swim. However,
they can
there
swim.
Is a however though. Yes. The main reason they shouldn't never get wet is because their bodies can't stand a sudden shift in temperature.
Well, so that's exactly why you can't
throw him in. Yeah, you can gently acclimatize, like Michael Phelps. You can gently acclimatize him to it, but
gently acclimatize.
Yeah.
They're famously the Michael Phelps of the animal kingdom.
Of the animal kingdom, yeah.
They're actually the most Olympic medal awarded rat type animal.
Structure.
Sorry, I forgot. Do I mean rat type? That's Pokemon, isn't it? What is their
Rattata?
genus? No. Rattata is a rat type Pokemon, isn't he?
Rattata is a rat type Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, but then what's the real world version of rat type?
Rodents.
Rodents.
They're rodents. By the way, I'll be honest. So usually what I do, right, and this is for anyone who is listening, if this makes it past editing, what usually happens is I'll start recording. I said this to you when we started. I'll start recording, have a little bit of a chat, and then go, right, you're the ruler of a country. And then later on, when I go editing an episode, the little chat at the start gets cut, and we just hear, right, you want to be the ruler of a country.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closest. I'm certain this makes it into the final bit, and I know it, and it's absolute weirdness. So people are still listening to this podcast, Tyrant In Training. We're on a detour. We're on a wonderful hamster invested detour.
This hamster is being gently introduced to the lake. It's been allowed to acclimatize. It's not being fucking whacked.
Launched.
Yeah, I'm picturing kind of like someone's got like a basket of hamsters and they're just like overarm, like just whacking them in. Show up in my little rowing boat and I say, "Cease! Don't you want these hamsters to flourish?" And then the guy with the basket's going, "Yeah, I want them to flourish."
Jesus, how many hamsters does he have in the basket?
I think nothing too crazy. Maybe like 20 to 30.
20 to 30, okay, yeah.
20 to 30 small hamsters, small to large hamsters.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a guinea pig in there he's gotten confused. And I say, don't you want these hamsters to flourish? He says, "Yes, I want the best for them." And I say, "Then you can't do this, man. You cannot expect these hamsters to flourish. They may swim."
Have you forgotten about the guinea pig? Are you not interested in that? You couldn't care about it?
Oh, I think it's the reason why it's like thick as two short planks and not like thick as two short sticks. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's just one of the little
specificity. I'm completely affected. Sorry about that word, but yeah, that word. Is key to it being memorable.
Is key to it being a memorable phrase and a cliche, really. Yes, so that would be on the island. Is it an existing island or is this like a fictional island that this just sprung into existence?
It's a fictional island. We're going to build it for you. We're not taking over any land that's already here.
When you say build it.
I mean, it's just going to pop up in water. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll do this clever little trick since I have this laptop where I show you a map of the world.
Oh my God.
Imagine if I just logged out. But yes, okay, here is the world. So do you have any idea where you'd have your island?
I think probably for kind of...
I can zoom in any part of here now if you want.
You can zoom in any part?
Any part. This flat land.
Can I be a floating island? Can I move?
What other type? Oh, I mean, ultimately, you're the boss.
What I'm kind of thinking is that, the Pacific garbage patch?
Absolutely not. Tell me more.
Okay, so this is kind of a grim thing. I might have it incorrect, but the Pacific garbage patch is, because there's so much plastic in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Pacific garbage patch is just a large lump of plastic in the ocean that has just all collected and connected and kind of clung together. A collection of marine debris in the North Pacific Ocean. It is something crazy like 7.7 million square miles. I'm trying to find out what size it actually is. I just want... No one knows how much debris makes up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
But wait, are you putting your island on it? Or it's your island?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's why I think it will help the planet. There we go.
1.6 million square kilometers. Twice the size of Texas.
Yeah, perfect. So it's there. We just put land on top of it. You know how they make like plastic, you can make plastic bricks, which are like, it's basically like hollowing out to, plastic bottles, like reusing plastic. Basically,
okay. Yeah.
This is the ultimate reusing of plastic.
You're definitely saving the planet with this.
Yeah. So I am just on top of this island.
Are they plastic bricks?
Yeah, plastic bricks are really cool. And you can
they're Lego.
Make them yourself.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like real life Lego. Yeah,
so
it's all this, it's like fusing all this non-recyclable, non-reusable plastics into one kind of lump of hard plastic, and then you use that to build stuff. So anyway, I would obviously cover it with turf and some soil, get some grass growing. I cover the Pacific Garbage Patch with soil and turf and trees and flowers, and I make this kind of, it feels almost like cyberpunk, but for like a kind of post-eco-terrorism generation.
Right.
She said, wankily disappearing up into her own arsehole. Whereas all this like plastic and crappy kind of like blazing colors of our mad consumer society, but then rewilded into something magnificent. Anyway, so I have an area 3 times the size of France to play with, and I float around.
That is pretty. So you're going to start off in North Pacific Ocean, but you.
Yeah. Like, and then basically, because I will, be in charge of it.
Yeah.
I will probably, attach some engines to the side. Maybe I'll boil down some of the plastic to be oil. Try and use those to kind of fuel myself around. I might push up to Ireland, say hi to the folks.
How quick is the island moving? Like, do you know what I mean?
I think we're probably moving slightly slower than like a modern cruise ship. So it's long. It's not a speedy thing. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're just moving kind of gently along. It'd probably take me about, 4 weeks to move up from, maybe a bit long, about 5 weeks maybe, to go from in the Pacific all the way up to Ireland.
Maybe 2 or 3 months to go around the world.
Yeah. Which I would do.
You would,
do that. Yeah. But then also, like it's 3 times the size of France, which I'm going to keep saying because I've got no real sense of how big Texas is, but I know like France, I have a sense of that scale. Anyway, so, float up, say hi to the folks back home, maybe like go around the Ring of Kerry or something. Haven't done that since I was a kid. Go float
with the island
back again. Well, no, I would disappear off on a boat and come back to the island after. I would use it to trip for doing it. And also, because I imagine, even though I would be making plastic bricks and even though there will be a level of turf and soil and trees and stuff at the top, there probably will be a bit of plastic debris shedding off the island. And I want to make sure that I'm not moving that around too much into beautiful, pristine water.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm on my island.
So that's really cool. Yes, no, I quite enjoy that answer because, I mean, you've even kind of got around because you haven't actually added new land technically, even though you have. And it's massive. Usually I say that I just give a round number and say 10 million people will be on the island. You're happy with that? It's not too much or too little?
What's the population of France? Let's multiply that by 3.
Okay, are we really? Are we just going?
No. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with 10 million. Yeah. Okay. 10 million people.
67 million people. 68 are in France. So
okay,
you
so
want
it's going to be
180.
pretty. Yeah. Okay. So
you want three
I think
times that, 180 million.
no. I want 10 million. I
Okay,
want there to be lots of green space.
Yeah. I like New Zealand. You want just
Yeah. Well, more like Denmark, where you have this like quite maybe highly populated city, and then everything else is quite rural and spread out. At least that's my impression of Denmark. I've got a Danish friend. That's what he tells me Denmark is like. So, and why would he lie?
Is he part of the tourism board?
No.
He gets commission on every lie. That's what the Danish do.
Damn it.
Yeah.
The Swedes were right.
Speaking of which, and actually, before I get to that question, I've just thought of. We should give your country a name, shouldn't we?
Oh yes.
So, what would you name it? Would you name it after yourself, or name it after the garbage patch?
I was just kind of making noises while I thought of that, but maybe the way to go is just a noise. What?
Okay, but how am I spelling this so I can try and get the noise down? What's it?
Ooh. No, hold on. This
seems to be changing every time you do it.
Yeah, it does. It's much like the Pacific garbage patch. It's changing. It's growing. Yeah. I'm gonna call it after myself. Flanitania.
What? Flanitania.
Flanitania.
FLA. Flanitania.
Yeah, Flanitania.
Flanitania. Yeah, you went. Yeah, I didn't expect it, to be honest. I thought you were going to go with the noise, but yeah, Flanitania. Love it. Actually, that kind of seems a bit. I don't know. The Itania part seems a bit sci-fi, steampunk-y.
Yeah, it's a little sci-fi, I guess. I mean, I think it's quite what it really suggests to my ears. Now that I've said it, it reminds me of some colonialists landing into somewhere, kicking the natives off and declaring it like, and this is King Charles land. This is Virginia after our Virgin Queen. This, blah, blah, blah. You know, it feels like it's the improper name, but essentially it is an improper place. It's a load of garbage. So, I'm going to stick with Flanitania.
Yeah, surely if you landed there, the only thing that you're kicking off are possibly like disease,
seagulls.
Is that unfair?
They would be like, well, hold on, all my tasty garbage so I can get my neck stuck in. And I would say, no, it's covered with soil. And then
I refuse to feed you.
Well, we'll be back for the fish and chips you'll eventually end up making. And I'll say, God damn you.
I love my fish and chips. I'm not willing to part them. Okay, you're at war with seagulls. Okay. Is that why you have to move all the time?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah. It's a very much it's a big, my people tell each other tales of various seagull attacks. Are you familiar with...
Tell me one. Yes.
Oh, okay. So, gather round, children. It's time for us all to hear about the great seagull wave of 2002.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. I was in school at the time.
Well, it was something like any normal day. Everyone came out and told each other how little everything smelled. And we all worked very hard. And yes?
I put my hand. I just need to clarify. Are we on Flanitania in 2002?
No, I'm telling you the story of something that happened in Flanitania in 2002.
Oh, but that's what I mean. Flanitania was a country back 21 years ago before.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I'm back there. I'm being turned down again by
cool. We've anchored ourselves in time. Here we go.
Yes, I'm ready.
People all look to the sky to see the sun shining down on their plants. And then a shadow passed, and another shadow passed, and another shadow passed, and the seagulls, with their horrible started to descend, and we all thought we'd be fine. They don't come for seeds. They come for our delicious fish and chips. They come for fat. They come for meat. They don't come for seeds. We thought we'd be happy. We thought we'd be delighted, but we've been planting our seeds in fish and bone meal mix, which is the seagulls, starving, descended and just started chowing down on soil and then spitting it back at us once they realized there wasn't enough meat in it. They were pecking people's arms. They were pecking people's legs. The seedlings were being thrown up around the place. We fled back to our houses and regrouped. And that was the day that Shabir McGear, our exalted Lord Mayor, took out his AK-47 and fucking obliterated the shits. And there you go, children. And that's why there's a statue to Shabir McGear in the town hall.
The trainer of Conor McGregor. So there was 4 seagulls and he just fucking annihilated.
No. Well, there was loads of seagulls.
I thought there was 4 shadows.
The shadows began with 1 and 2. The 4 shadows initially, and then they begin to darken the sky. Oh,
okay. Yes, I thought it was just the 4, and then he came
out. No. I mean, are you familiar with the war of Australia versus the emus?
Oh, I've heard of this, and I'm pretty sure I've read it. But yeah, no, that is a thing. Yeah, they went.
They tried to fight the emus, and they actually lost. And that's very much, so there is a historical precedent.
And you're not going to make a nation to be.
No. Well, I mean, I really we win some, we kill some, they keep breeding, they come back for more food. We try and defend ourselves again and again. And it's very this war will not end. We are in forever war.
You are Rome against Carthage, forever war.
One day, maybe our children will play in harmony together. But I doubt it because they're fucking vicious.
Would you...
Not human children, seagulls, but maybe
if you're... would you allow your children to play with seagulls if they were in love in a friendship way?
I mean, I'd like to be the sort of person that says, yep, absolutely, my children can play with seagulls. I don't see species or whatever, and just to engage with the bird in front of me as opposed to what I've been taught. But, I guess I just have some prejudices that maybe I need to confront there,
Maybe. And you know what? This podcast isn't where you confront them. It's where you...
No, it's not. No, my podcast is where my assumptions are enforced and endorsed.
Yeah, you take advantage of them. Okay, what actually I haven't done yet. I was going to call you Mary, but by right, I should be calling you by your official title. So if you can tell me, what should your citizens be calling?
Empress.
Straight on Empress? Empress Mary or Empress Flanigan?
Empress Mary the First.
Oh, you plan to more Marys. Okay. Empress Mary the First. Wait a minute. Would they say Mary the First? I mean, I'm just thinking of history and stuff. For example, World War I wasn't called World War I. It was called just the Great War.
No, right? You're right. I would be Mary the Great until the second Mary. Yeah.
Empress Mary the Great. Yeah,
so I don't actually know what you call an empress. Your Grace, maybe?
Or Holiness? No, not Holy. Highness? Is it, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Her Imperial Highness.
Her Imperial Highness. Okay, I better write this down because I'm feeling what's the punishment if someone doesn't say that?
Oh, thrown off the edge. Well, no, actually, hold on. A mere mishandling of imperial protocol, I can't be too angry at. If someone stumbles and says Your Grace or something to me, I'll merely laugh. But, the Empress's favor is not easily won.
What if they call you Scary Mary?
If they call me Scary Mary, then thrown off the edge for sure.
Right. Okay. Well, they are correct then if they say, well, she is quite scary. Yeah.
You can be correct about a lot of things. You don't need to say them.
That is true. Yeah.
If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
And you are only proving their point. You are being fair to them. If they're calling you Scary Mary, well then, have at it.
Yeah, exactly. When people tell you who they think you are, believe them and then act like it.
That'd be a motto for the country. Okay.
Not the motto for the country. I think the motto for the country is something like, it doesn't smell here.
It doesn't smell. Yeah, you'd really want to get that across actually, because I'm sure do you know what? I say you'd have to put out a lot of onions, right?
Planting loads of onions, loads of garlic. Okay, so in Latin, according to Google, that is hic non olfaces.
You'd go with that? I do have to wonder though, because you said about they should call you her Imperial Highness. I just have a scenario here. If someone was to meet you, and I presume they have to bow, right? They have to curtsy or something.
There you go, curtsy, bow, yeah.
Curtsy, you're kind of easygoing. Just not specific.
I'm easygoing. Listen, the gap between curtsy and bowing is very gender specific. I like to think that Flanitania, for all its faults, yes, it's run by, I'm not afraid to say it at this point, essentially a mad dictator, but I'm cool with however you want to express yourself gender-wise.
So if I was to say, hello, your Imperial Highness, and then I give you a little bow, and I go, pleased to meet you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I would say. And what brings you to my court today?
Well, that's none of your business. But the reason why I asked it, because apparently I've just gone on to WikiHow, which is always correct, and it says you're not meant to say pleased to meet you to the English royalty. Apparently it's a big faux pas.
Well,
I'm going to say English royalty. English. It just says royalty. It just says royalty, but I'm assuming they mean English royalty.
Well, I mean, the thing is, not royalty, Empress. Like, I started this empire.
Yeah.
On this garbage patch. My children may be adopted or bred or, kidnapped from their disbelieving parents. Maybe it's someone who I've thrown off the edge of anyone who I throw off the edge of the garbage patch, if their children or if they leave orphans behind them, then I adopt those orphans. Because I hate to see a child in pain.
When they're 18,
that's why I don't let them play with seagulls. No. When they're 18, they'll be like brainwashed enough to be not brainwashed, but they'll be like, oh hey, she's cool. Sure, I felt complicated about her killing my parents, but she helped trick me in.
If you threw the mother off and the father off,
a 17-year-old, that's fine.
But would you think he'd be sufficiently brainwashed by 18?
Well, I think I would see how he managed. See how smart he was.
Yeah,
and of course. The problem is I am going to have to try and make it very, very clear where the title goes after I pass. Because with all those adopted children...
Oh, that could get messy.
Yeah, the line of succession has to be correctly established.
But you know what? Before we get into that, because we have to figure out...
I'm a forward thinker, you see, Kevin. I'm a forward thinker.
Yeah, you're trying to connect all the dots. I'm just wondering, where are you going to live in Flanitania? Are you living in the city, or are you living out by the coast, or what type of house are you living in?
Now, because we are on a bunch of floating plastic,
Yeah.
Even though we have covered it with all this turf and soil, we do ultimately have to be a bit careful that we don't capsize. So the city has to be at the dead center of the garbage patch.
Will that not create a donut sort of island where it just sinks down through the middle and then?
It's like a flat city. It's like,
okay.
Yeah. Now you've run rings around me logically because I've famously, it's a famous thing about me. Don't understand.
Yes.
Physics. So when I said right in the center, I didn't actually mean that. I meant that my imperial palace, which will be all one story. Well, I'll get two stories because I'm the empress.
Yeah.
2 stories, but everyone else, it's a nation of bungalows, and they're all quite equidistant. No stairs, all quite equidistant from each other.
Lovely.
Everyone's So there is like a city center, but it's all very carefully planned. When I was setting up the nation, I kidnapped some of the world's most intelligent, skilled city planners and town planners, earthquake preparedness teams, flood preparedness teams, and I said, hi, and they said, what the fuck? And I said, no. They said, it smells here. And I said, no, it doesn't. Have you seen the motto? Now build me town that somewhere people can live in.
Yes.
And, they're free now because here's the thing. I might get offended sometimes, but, if you do me a solid, I will do you a solid.
So their freedom.
Their freedom, yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
They were set out. And I think like it's that, she sticks by her promises. She abides by her word. That's what has the nation turning to me.
Once
I'm in the Imperial Palace, which is 2 stories in the middle of the island.
Do you have a throne room? Do you think you'd go for a throne itself, or where are you meeting delegates of other countries?
Well, then for delegates, for delegates, I try to extend the hand of friendship. So I don't necessarily insist on them bowing down before my throne. I do, hold court. I do like to hold court, but I like to keep it kind of fun, think like a cool cocktail bar. Just like one of the seats is.
So there is a bar and a stool.
There's it's chill. Like, it's cool. It's whatever. Like, it's all crazy cool chill. And then someone sasses me, and then maybe it's not so chill. But ultimately, up until that point, it's all crazy cool chill.
So do you have like a dartboard, and if someone doesn't like bow correctly or something, you just throw a dart?
We have a dartboard. I've never thrown a dart at anybody because my aim is really bad. I do, however, have a guy on staff whose job it is to just whack a dart. But then again, because I know that I can sometimes snap out of things, there is a really, really good hospital right beside the Imperial Palace.
Oh, so you let them get medical help?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I am calling your security guy Whack-a-Dart. No, that's his name.
Whack-a-Dart, yes.
Whack-a-Dart. I quite like Whack-a-Dart. Yeah. Whack-a-Dart is quite good. So you don't have a throne room, it's more of a bar area. That's just you all chill out.
More of a bar vibe. Yeah.
It's quite good. I quite like that. You kind of went through the origin story, a little bit of the country. So is there any rules for the people who are joining the country? Are there anything that, if, for example, I assume if you are pro-seagull, you might not be wanted on.
Yeah. Ornithologists get a pretty tough ride here unless they're kind of very clear on like what sort of birds, and unless they can bring their expertise to help us. It's not necessarily the best place for members of the RSPB or anything like that.
Yeah,
that's the Royal Society. Yeah. But for people joining the country, I just have to be like, hey, does it smell here? And they're like, like a bit, because it's made of like garbage. And I'm like, into the ocean you go.
So you're going to meet people.
Yes.
So if I say like, hi, I'm Marcus, I'd like to join the island. What are you asking Marcus to figure out if he's allowed to join?
So if he's allowed to join, I feel like with 10 million people. Oh, hi, Marcus.
Hello, hi.
So just for today, I'm still one of the people. I'm still ordinary, even though I've been ruler of this land for at least, 20 years now. The Empress is here to greet potential immigrants to the island. And I just want to ask you just a wee couple of questions to make sure we're on the same page. Does it smell here?
I can't smell. I don't have a nose.
You can't smell?
No.
Okay.
Big fan of the Harry Potter movies and decided, people were getting tattoos. I'm going to go for the full surgery to look like my favorite guy.
Go for the full Voldemort.
Voldemort. Sorry.
Marcus, we can eventually.
It's just, there's no T at the end sound. It's
Voldemort.
There's no T.
Okay. Now, it is your first day here, Marcus, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a Bible. But just so you know, there's a pamphlet out there called Things Not to Say to the Empress. And one of them is correcting her pronunciation on anything.
Yes.
So, hey, listen, you're learning, you get it. I'm cool. I'm not a poor crazy psycho, so I'm going to just laugh that off. We'll all have a good time. Marcus, wonderful. And can I just ask, how do you feel about planting flowers and working and laying turf? Because that is a big part of, that is kind of our citizenly duties, is that we are building this land together.
Okay. Now, are you talking about me doing it or just other people doing it? How do I feel?
Oh, you doing it? Yeah, there is a kind of it's sort of national service, but in like a chill way, where you just are just planting seeds. You may have to shoot a seagull. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm all in on shooting seagulls. I do that in my spare time. I'm actually at the weekends. I tend to do it with my son.
Oh.
Quite nice.
That's really sweet. Okay, Marcus, listen, I actually want you to talk to a friend of mine, Shabir McGear. You'll know him. He's the guy who kind of looks like that statue you can just about see out the window.
I don't have any eyes.
You don't have any eyes?
No, I'm sorry, no.
And you still manage to shoot seagulls?
Well, I guess. I mean, my son kind of tells me I think that's a seagull, and I go, bang.
Okay, so you hear a scream and you're like, could be a seagull.
I hear, oh my God, John, it's our wedding day. And I go, got him. And then,
yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not a seagull cry that I'm familiar with, but I'm not one of those fucking ornithologists, if you know what I mean. So
I'm from Galway, so
Okay.
it's a little bit different.
Marcus, you're going to fit right in. Just never fucking correct me on anything. So actually, what would be really awesome is if Jimmy, can you take Marcus here to meet Shabir McGear? Because Marcus has a type of bloodthirsty idiocy that I think would really, really do well in the Imperial Guard. Okay, Marcus, listen, our staff will be in to check in with you rather, in a couple of months, see how you're getting on, see whether you're adjusting to life in Flanitania. And then we'll go from there.
I just want to make sure. You keep saying Marcus. It's actually pronounced Kevin. So just there you go. Jimmy, hello.
Okay.
I'm the bloodthirsty idiot. Yeah. I'm very excited.
Listen, can I just put my hands on your shoulders there, Kevin?
There you go. Yeah.
And I'm gonna just point. I know you can't really see anything, but can you feel the wind on your face?
No, I can feel it. Is my son around? I don't seem to. It seems to be changing his surname to yours.
Because you're actually at the edge
of
the patch now.
Right.
Queen.
Right. I'm gone.
The Empress, and then I just put you over the edge.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm just feeling all wind.
Falling through.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. But that was nice. That was a nice conversation, and I do agree. I think Kevin might have been a bit too at ease.
Yeah, and I feel like I couldn't have been plainer.
No, that is true. Yeah. No. You gave him every chance.
Do not correct the Empress on any pronunciation of any word. Oh, my name's actually Kevin. Nah, your name's Marcus now.
Yeah. Okay, so I think you're very fair. I think that's fair. I think you'll have a lot of people coming in and willingly coming in. Now, I do have a difficult question that the Empress has to deal with.
Okay,
You get an email in, and it says that unfortunately, now, of course, your approval rating is 100%, right? Everyone is on board.
It is. My people love me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is a scandal about to break out.
What is the scandal? My current favorite in court is Shabir McGear.
Of course.
And people are accusing me of having kind of amped up his actions in the Great Penguin, the Great Seagull attack of 2002, and the Great Penguin attack of 2003. People are saying, was he the first person to have an AK-47? Is this just something the Empress is saying about him? We need a stone statue when our island is made of plastic. It is sinking into the audience, to the ocean. And, all of that is quite, there's just whispers. And my feeling is that they are being spread about by Wackadart, who used to be my favorite, until I kind of got a little tired. I mean, he does one thing, and the thing he does really well, but it's one thing.
Wait a minute, is it just does he just have one dart? So he throws and has to go get it, and then
all the time. And at the start, he would make a little joke out of it, I left this thing over here again. Oh, I forget my dart if it wasn't, in my holster. And I was now I'm a bit we got to do something new here. Anywho, so that's why I kind of started hanging about more with Shabir McGear, who is charming, and he's a sweetie pie. He's not an alpha or whatever. I think he's really sweet, but I know that people sometimes need their egos, massaged a little, and might the royal, the imperial whisperers, who are what I call my kind of gossip spreaders and, influencers and stuff like that in the island. Did they go a little overboard? Maybe. Did they go overboard off the island? No, because they did what I told them to do.
Right.
But, I'm not blameless in this unless anyone tells me that I'm to blame for it, and then they're going off the edge of the island. So what am I going to do? I am going. Now, Shabir McGear will hate this. He'll start crying, which, I don't like people crying at me. It's
no,
I'm done.
If they cry on you?
If they cry on me or at me or in my general direction, if there's a sense that water that isn't seawater might land on my face, then I'm nah. Yeah. That's just me, though. That's just me. I'm just crazy like that. But, so what I'm going to get him to do is to fight 3 seagulls without arms, as in with no weapons.
You're taking his arms?
I'm taking
the arms from him. You can't have limbs.
Can't have limbs, no limbs. Bare armed. I wanted to say like unarmed.
Unarmed, yeah. No arms. Right. Unarmed. He gets to keep his pride, not his hands.
Yes. Arms. So basically, and it's kind of for the people to see that he is the man that I've told them that he is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is kind of a win-win for me because either he wins and the people are like, hooray!
He's brilliant.
Okay, he is that guy. Or he loses, the seagulls kill him, and the problem's kind of solved, and then I'll just start favoring Whack-A-Dart more again until they're like, oh, she's back on the side of good, and then I'll just shove Whack-A-Dart off the island.
So you have this good plan. I like it. I think what your advisors or anyone in the court was mentioning, they said, look, we might think it'd be a good idea if you maybe went on to the highest rated news program in the country and speak to the best journalist. They'll do a little sit down with you and say, you can explain it to the people. It'll be a hard hitting interview, but hey, we know what this guy is on about. So if it's okay with you, we're going to go onto Anderson's show.
I feel that I am deeply suspicious of this, but my advisors have told me it will be good for me. I do like to engage with the people. I do like to connect with them. Let's go for it.
Perfect. So, your Imperial Highness, Empress Mary the Great.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming onto the show tonight. It has been an honor just to watch you show up.
Thank you for having me, Anderson. That is, thank you. I feel really warmed and welcomed here, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Now, we do want to get into the second, third, and fourth part of the show, which is going to be how wonderful you have built this country with your kidnaps and now free architects.
Yes. Yeah. I'm really proud of that project. And, it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people involved. And, I really think of this island as something that we're all building together.
Now, you say it was many people. And, I do have to push back on you on that, I'm afraid. People, and I think it's a fair criticism if I put my own spin on it. Sometimes you're too modest. It was all you, wasn't it? It was all you.
I don't know about that.
I'm going to have to hold you to it a bit. Come on,
it wasn't all me. It wasn't all me.
It was. I'm sorry. I'm overstepping.
Well, thank you for recognizing that.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Your Brilliant Imperial Highness, we do have to speak about Shabir Gate. Now, I guess what your citizens, what they want to know is why. Now, you have released statements about what you plan to do, but why? How did it get to this in the first place?
I know my people have a certain idea of me. It's from the beautiful face on the money that, a lot of people in makeup department work very hard on. It's the chill bar atmosphere of the throne room. It's, it's the, you're so beautiful, you're so talented, you're so amazing, all those things. I'm not perfect. And I guess I just fell in love. And when you're in love, you can do silly things. And I just wanted the people to love Shabir as much as I loved him. But part of being a ruler is recognizing when you've let love lead you astray. And I think love has led me astray at this point.
I was just going to let the listeners here know, at this point in the show, Anderson has actually collapsed in shock when you said you weren't perfect. And the camera's now just focusing on you as you speak directly to it.
Straight down the barrel.
Yeah, so sorry. Continue your wonderful words.
Okay. I think we've all had our hearts broken at some point in our lives. We've all loved and lost. And I hope we can all love again. But the thing that breaks my heart is realizing that in the first dizzying flush of infatuation, I let down my beautiful Flanitanians. It will be the last time this happens. Don't worry about me, though. I'll be just fine. and then I get up and leave the studio.
Oh yeah, the paramedics who are working on it have stopped and just.
Yeah. Time of death immediately after I finish.
Oh yeah. He's gone. Yeah, but I mean, they are just like beautiful. They are in tears. Now they're in tears, but they quickly leave into a back room. They don't want to get any on you. But they're fantastic. I just want to say the advisors are like, wow. I mean, sweet Holy Mother. That and you just took a victory sip there. Quietly impressed with what you yeah. Okay. No notes, just very good. Yes. On the way out, one of the producers, Anderson's now ex-wife, I guess, she said, excuse me, Your Imperial Highness, I just wanted to ask, we were planning on making a new documentary for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just wondering, is there any fantastical fact we can mention?
Well, there has been a rumor that I sleep, but because I'm a huge fan of the musician Cardi B,
right.
Which is why the kind of first dance at my Jubilee celebration last year was to Wet Ass Pussy, by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So she has a lyric in her song Money. You know that Cardi a freak. All my pajamas is leather. And people are like, oh, she's so crazy. She sleeps in leather. I do sleep in leather.
You actually full on leather?
Full on leather.
Right.
It's very breathable. It stretches and adjusts. It's high quality stuff. And I'm tired of kind of hiding around that. So yeah, the rumor that Her Imperial Majesty sleeps in leather is entirely true. And I will not be given an interview for this documentary.
So we're going to make this documentary. Don't worry. We will have, a lot of experts talking about the benefits of this wonderful Empress sleeping in leather, why that's beneficial.
Yeah.
We're going to have reenactments. We're going to have the finest of actresses who are playing you in the role, it's well done, all that. Yeah. And it'll be called A Bed of Leathery Dreams. So.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Is, Thank you. 9-part documentary. Okay. So, by the way, since you're a script editor, I never asked this out of nosiness. What's your favorite, do you have a favorite movie franchise?
Movie franchise?
Yeah.
So, this isn't a movie franchise, but I've always really, really loved the original BBC adaptation of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I think it's a really great example of really delicately done storytelling, and it's also a total snapshot of how drama was done at that particular time, and it works so differently from now.
When was that? Because I know.
This is in the 70s.
I've watched the movies. To be honest, I don't think I've watched the movie, let alone. Oh, okay. No,
it's in the 70s. Alec Guinness is in it, and a bunch of people who you'll be like, oh, that guy.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I'm just thinking Charles Dance would be in it, but
probably as a very young man, maybe in it.
Yeah. Okay, I was just a bit curious. I have to ask your finance guy, one of your finance people, knocks on the door.
Yes.
Knock.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on in. We're all chilling. We're all chilling in the
bar. Hello, I'm Paul.
Come on in the bar. Yeah.
Your Imperial Highness. Hello, I'm Paul. I have a bit of good news. Hello, I have a good news for you. Just checking the finance there. We have a lot of money, a lot of surplus in the coffers.
Sweet.
Your people, if you don't mind, your people are very, dare I say, agitated because they really want to build you a monument or build you something and put your name in it. Something to say thanks for doing such a good job. I said I'd ask you.
Oh, that's sweet.
What could they build? Something a bit extravagant, go all out.
A bit extravagant. I think a water park.
A big water park.
A big water park.
And any specific slides or any big monument to it? Can we build a statue of you in it? Maybe with slides.
I would like not a statue. I would like a giant slide that resembled me. Something really accentuated my curves.
Right.
She got a body like a water slide. And they just that's the noise of a little child whizzing around
one of the orphans.
Yeah, when the orphans, yay! I'm so happy. My mom would let me do that. Yeah. Yay! And so it's all made out of recycled plastic from the patch, you know. And like there's lots of different, there's a kind of a dodgems thing in the water, like pedalos.
Yeah.
But they're all shaped like different that's called like the inner system of Mary, and that has like the little like red blood cells pedaling around a lake. And actually this is on the edge of the patch. So it's sort of like, I don't know if you've ever done like a Wild River water park thing where they blow up a bunch of inflatables in the river and then they like run on them. Yeah. And it's sort of like a water park, but like in like fresh water. So basically it's just at the edge of the garbage patch. I would like this sort of floating water park.
Just with the slide. Is the slide going, what way, is the slide going down the front of you or the back or the sides or? What?
Kind of, well, I think there'll probably be a couple, but the major one, which will be called Flanitania, that's going to, you have to, climb up my back.
Right.
And then get in a tube that snakes down around from my head, across my shoulders, around my bosoms, down further, across the legs, thighs, into the ocean.
And into the ocean. Straight into the ocean.
Yeah. Straight into the ocean. Yeah. Well, like in the bay, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's not like they have to swim after the country. Yeah.
No.
No,
there's little kind of netting, again, made out of recycled plastic.
We'll definitely get on it. I know now the biggest water park in the world is 182 hectares. No idea what that means in practical terms. But,
I think it'd be smaller than that. Like, I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy. I'm like, I'm totally insane with power. But I would say maybe quarter of that, maybe.
Oh, really?
I want something that people can see where their kids are from, like, that is not, you don't necessarily have to be with your children. You can be like watching them from the bay.
As you fall, as you're being pushed off? Or are these the parents that are happy?
Yeah, these are parents that are happy. They're just like in boats, or they're just like on the edge of the bay, just watching their children play.
Oh, okay. That's very considerate. Very considerate. Thank you. Yeah. Then we're calling this the Emporess Mary the Great Water Park.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we're calling it Splash Zone.
Okay. Yeah. That's
to commemorate, and then then maybe you call it the Imperial Splash Zone.
Yeah. I think I'm just thinking of the citizens who would like, to kind of have your name in it, that they go, bam, that's who am I to say against the will of the people? I'll say the Empress Mary Water Park. Okay. I mean, you are the
also known as Splash Zone for marketing purposes. Oh, yeah. But I think kind of casually everyone will call it the Empress Mary Water Park.
Yeah, that's very good. We were going to get on that. It's going to cost a lot of money, and we have it, so we're going to get on that. And while that's being built, we have another email being sent in. Now, I don't know. I don't know whether you'll think this is good. You might like it. So grab yourself a drink at the bar. The company who made Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh,
they
BBC.
Are looking. Yes, BBC. Yes, they are looking to film the series, I guess, on Flanitania.
Oh, the sort of remaking as a TV series, Soldier Spy. Okay, on Flanitania.
Yeah. Now, what they asked is they would love if you would star in a cameo version of yourself, or if you want, because hey, you know how to handle a screenplay. If you want to play either yourself or you want to play a fictional character within the world, it's up to you. It's your choice. Would you be willing?
I think it's such a tightly plotted show that I would be hesitant to add in a character. There is a sequel to Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Smiley's People, which was also filmed by the BBC, and that begins with a Russian emigre in Paris being chased down by KGB guys. I would do that cameo. Well, it's not a cameo. She's in like 3 episodes, but I would play that part.
You're the one who's running away from the KGB.
Yeah. And he'll be like, oh, it's such a transformation. She's this beautiful, amazing, like sensual body, like a waterside person, but she's totally transformed into the role of this like bent and scarred by time, Russian emigre, this woman who's seen things, this woman who's had to live with the fact that she's left a child behind in Russia because she had to get out to fall in love with her life in Paris. You know, and that, like, it's, and that's the thing about these series, is that's like this little snapshot of this woman's life. It's not actually relevant. Like, you get the sense of all of that, but not that much time is actually spent with her.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
So you would go, and can we, instead of it being you on the run in Paris, can we say it's you on the run in Flanitania, or are we pretending Flanitania is?
Yeah. Well, so because it's a period piece and it's set in, the Cold War, I think we have to just dress up parts of Flanitania to look like London and Paris and Russia. I mean, there's a lot of very old plastic. There's a lot of very old plastic from the 70s, 80s. Like, we can,
we can do it up, yeah.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work.
So what we might do is, might just have a little scene here where you're being chased. Or I guess you're after running into some area. Where would you think you'd run into, or what sort of
this is
villain?
Me playing your woman from Smiley's People.
This is your role, the role that you've been.
Okay. Why are you chasing me? I left Russia behind. I am Parisian citizen now. Please leave me be.
Hey, I've looked everywhere for you. I've spent 35 years in Ireland. That's why I have this accent. And I am so tired. I want to get back to Dubrovnik. Actually, that's not in Russia. That's in a different place. I'm going on there on holidays, and then I'm going back to Moscow. But I need you first. It's
beautiful this time of year.
I wouldn't know, because I'm here in this coffee shop in Paris, and I knew you worked here.
Please, I make no trouble. Do you have news of my daughter that I left behind in Russia?
She is not flourishing. Yes, we've been throwing her into water, and she's not flourishing.
You've thrown her into a lake, but you cannot expect her to flourish.
Why can't I expect her to flourish? What sort of animal?
Hamsters need to be acclimatized to the temperature of the lake. And I start weeping, and weeping.
And I also start weeping.
And then you weep on me.
Is that allowed? I mean, you know what I mean? The actor is going method, but I think,
I see my acting coach off screen.
Right.
She very, very carefully shakes her head, and I go back into crying. And then I'm given, just even before the scene is cut, I'm just given my country's version of a BAFTA, which is the MAFTA.
The MAFTA, yeah. So this character, this actor is crying all over you.
But I'm being very, very brave.
Yeah.
And I'm staying in the zone. Yeah. But I only end up doing one episode then, because I can't, if that's going to keep happening, I'm not going to
wait, I'm really curious now. So they go, cut, and then my guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry, I hit something. Good scene. Thank you.
Great. Sorry,
well
Susie, gotta go. Just really gotta go.
And they're off the screen, everyone is just like biting their fists in their hands. Where do you go? You run into a trailer, or what do you just get out of there?
Oh, well, as in, like, so in the world of me being the Empress playing this part in the show, I just walk off set and I say, fix it in post.
Okay.
And they do.
But is that character in the sequel of the actual Tinker Tailor?
No, so Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, she isn't in. Smiley's People, she is in.
And she's in a longer than that scene.
Yeah, she's in maybe about 4 scenes across, like, maybe 7 episodes. Like, she's tertiary but key.
Right.
If you know what I mean. I don't want to talk super much about it, because I don't know how many people listening to this podcast will want to go check out a BBC adaptation from the 70s, but I also don't want to spoil it for all the 2.5 people who might feel inclined to check it out off the back of that.
Wait, are you saying I only have 2.5 people listening to the show?
No, I'm saying you have a lot of people listening to the show. I'm saying you have 2.5. There's maybe 2.5 people who would listen to what we just did and went, you know what, I'll check it out. So, I don't want to spoil it for them. I'm not going to go into what she does and how it's all part of it.
That's fine. But in your version, she's working in a coffee shop. She gets caught by a KGB agent from Tipperary, and then she asks about her daughter, who may be a hamster. We're not quite sure.
We're not quite sure.
And then she cries when she finds out her daughter isn't flourishing. And then the KGB agent cries on you as well.
Yes.
Just probably overcome with the chase. And then it ends.
Yeah. But I can't take it. The actress steps out and the Empress steps in. And I just can't be doing it.
Oh, we get the cut. We get the scene.
Yeah.
We're very happy, very thankful. Yeah. We have a knock on the door for you now that you're back at your palace. Knockety knock. It's hello. It's Paul again. Hello,
hi, Paul.
For Imperial Highness.
Yeah.
I was on set the day you I want to say acted, but I honestly could not tell. I could not tell you were acting. I thought you were that character.
You are being very sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I feel like that's the only reason you came here, is it?
To be honest, it was most of it. But yeah, I guess I'm still on the clock. Only for the next few minutes. As you know, I'm going on holiday. I'm taking a lovely trip around the Ring of Kerry. So thank you.
Very well. Okay. I like to look after people.
Thank you. I just had to let you know. I was just checking. We have the water park built. That was money well spent. People are loving it. The slide is doing fantastic numbers. Just let you know that.
Great, beautiful.
Just check the finances again. Turns out there was a minus sign in front of all the numbers, so we're actually heavily in debt. So we actually have no money now. You might want to maybe if you have any plans to suddenly make more money. And yeah, my flight is here. So bye. Great performance.
See you, Paul.
Bye. And he just leaves.
He leaves. Now, what would I do? I think we've got to use something. What are we using all those dead seagulls for? What can we?
Oh, Shabir being out killing seagulls the whole time.
Yeah. Well, okay. they keep attacking. You know, we keep pushing them back. We push them back.
Yes.
Off and on. And you know, the Shabir fight, where people watched a man with no arms fight 3 to 4 seagulls.
Yeah.
Actually gotten a lot of people. I start reaching out to my old contacts in the TV industry and the friends I made through the new BBC adaptation.
Yes.
And I get broadcast rights for Man v Seagull. And I plunge the country further into debt by hiring the top PR guys to push this as a place and to push the idea of man versus seagull. Come to Flanitania. Prove that you are someone who can beat the shit out of a seagull. So basically, we're going for the world's strongest man audience. Tourism shoots way up. There's a lot of those people, right? They've been punched in the nose so much they can't actually smell that well. So they're actually okay with the whole, does it smell? Grand. We start charging admission, we charge broadcast rights, we do a lot of sports merchandising. Some people do kind of like, in the way that there's like boxing and then wrestling.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, can we maybe like do like a kind of a WWE version of this where we sort of train the seagulls to be like the heels, and are they kind of...
What type of character would they be?
They would be like... Well, I think there'd be a mix. I think there'd be some people being kind of like the Undertaker, which is like just a super intense, just appearing from nowhere thing. And then some people have more like the John Cena kind of comedy seagull sort of vibe.
Yeah.
But actually, I think weirdly enough, WWE for seagulls is going to actually increase the positive perception of seagulls in my country, because it's going to feel like they're kind of in on the joke, that it feels fun. But also they are still going to pay lots of money to see them try and fight a man with no arms.
What happens though? Would you be okay? I just want to make sure that would you be okay with this show it's starting off with your biggest hero, Shabir McGear, and against the Underseagull. But what happens if, because I've watched wrestling.
You're a man in his 20s to 30s. Of course you watch wrestling. Yep.
Yeah. And I'm just curious whether, like, what happens if the Underseagull, who's initially they're booed, but as usually at a certain point the audience ends up cheering the person they're booing. So would you be okay if it suddenly flips and they're cheering the Underseagull and Shabir McGear is getting all the boos?
Well, here's the thing. As long as they're paying money, I'm good.
You couldn't care less. Yes.
Couldn't give a shit. I know where I stand with the seagull.
Yeah.
I know what my people want to see. In the midst of a story and villains becoming heroes and heroes becoming villains. That's all just good storytelling. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
That's you allow the art to live.
As long as they pay.
I think you're after solving two problems here, because those seagulls now have steady work.
Yeah.
They're too busy working to be fighting. First of all, I mean, especially with any sort of wrestling, it might be, I want to say fake in a kind of fictional world sense, but I mean, a lot of the stuff they do is still an athletic activity.
Oh, yeah. It's, what's that? I think it's fixed, but it's not fake.
Yeah. I mean, some of those people are lunatics doing it, like the things. But those seagulls they're in no actual condition to fight a war if they're off wrestling every week against
they're training,
severe.
They're doing like pre-fight interviews, they're maybe doing skits, like maybe there's starts becoming a burgeoning kind of action movie industry in Flanitania where we start using like our seagulls, Dave Bautista. You know, what's his role? Is there a role for him? I think there might be. Especially if he stays on my good side.
The Imperial Highness has once again created a massive positive out of a possible negative, and you've made seagulls now a productive member of Flanitania society. Well done. I like that. I do have a final question. If at certain point you may decide, actually you brought this up at the beginning, there is going to be an heir at some point, or maybe you'll have to decide it. So who would be your heir? And if I may, only one condition to this. It has to be someone who is actually alive now. Can't be a fictional person. Just want to make sure we can get them locked in. I'll ask them after this.
Let the record show that I rolled backwards away from the laptop with my fingers steepled in an attitude of deep thought.
I thought you were leaving the room again.
I'll just go leave the room.
Yeah. We'll just wait here.
I would choose as my heir someone who's living today. Need them to be my age or younger.
Do you?
Because I want them to have a long reign. And my country needs stability. We're a floating island made of plastic. We need stability.
You need any bit of stability you can get. Yeah.
So in that case, I think I'm going to go for Florence Pugh.
Oh, yes, she's good.
She's a sensible girl.
Yeah.
She's smart. She's very pretty. She looked great in a pound coin. She knows wrestling. She was in a movie about wrestling with Nick Frost and Lena Headey, I want to say.
Wait, is this the Fighting with My Family?
Yes.
Oh, Stephen Merchant as well. Yes, big fan.
Yeah,
yes.
She has all these connections in TV as well. She'll know what I was trying to do with the tourism, with the film industry. Yeah. She's got a sense of style that I think's great. She worked on Don't Worry, Darling, so she's had to deal with trouble and managing different people and being involved in conflict.
Yes.
I think Florence Pugh.
Think she'd be up for it?
I think so. I mean, once I kidnap her, I'll be fine.
Oh, you'll do the kidnapping trick, and then once you do it, you're free.
But she'll get it.
Yeah. You're practically,
It's win-win for her, right?
That is true. Yeah, she gets her own island and freedom back. Do you think, you just mentioned there that she'd look good in a pound coin. Are they going to take your face off the pound coin? No, or the currency?
Well, it's going to be like a kind of, like when the new ruler takes over, the new coins are issued. So, my coin will still be in circulation. It's just at hers.
There'll be extra ones. Okay, yes, you're still there. Yeah. And you're staying on the island.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm only relinquishing my power at death.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So, you're there till your last breath. Okay. What a wonderful last thing to ask. Yes. Okay. Mary Flanigan. I'm no longer calling you Imperial Highness. It's over. It's gone.
Oh, no. I got so into that.
Yeah.
I went so mad with power so quickly. I had initial plans of it being this kind of eco wonderland, and then
there is. I do wonder, because most of the people I've interviewed on this never met them before, don't know who they are, don't know what type they are, don't know how they view being a tyrant. I do wonder, should I just be referring to them as their titles? So should I ever just DM you going, "Hey, Imperial Highness, how's it going?" And would that be preferable than just going, "Oh, maybe, all right." But yes, I do say thank you for showing me what a real country looks like. Is there anything you want to plug besides the gap in the island?
Stop throwing plastic into the ocean, guys. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Our Lady of Flan. So OurLadyOffFlan, or on Instagram at Mazflaz, MazFlaz. Or you can find me on Facebook. Mary Flanigan Does Comedy, and there I'll post my gigs. And sometimes I stream on twitch.tv/Mazflaz. So Instagram, Our Lady of Flan. Nope, fucking hell. Jesus, I've got confused with my own handles. Twitter, Our Lady of Flan. Instagram, Mazflaz. Twitch.tv/Mazflaz. I do things, come and see me do things live.
Yay. Okay, thank you everyone for listening to this episode. And I'm sure we'll be back, I don't know, in a week. Why not say a week? And thank you again. Actually, do you know what? Why not? Your Imperial Highness.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one quick final question? What words of wisdom would you leave people with?
If you believe in yourself and you trust in yourself and you listen to the voice inside you, you can do most things. You can do almost anything. But you can't throw a hamster in a lake and expect it to flourish.